trotzdem. No, all the way at the end.
Anything Jewish, recognize it by a lot of protection. A lot. In Berlin. Why is that? Number 5, DMC top. Number 5, DMC top. Number 5, DMC top. Number T, number 5, DMC top. Number 5, DMC top. Number 5, DMC top. Number 5, DMC top. Number burger. Number Syria, Afghanistan, Washington, Edinburgh, London, Frankfurt, and Bali, and TMC Hawaii, Kura, Beijing, Hong Kong, TMC Boom, Tiampa Boom, Kakarapupu.
Announced the attack. They said came
Hong
from
Xiang.
Iran's Revolutionary Guard
Xiang.
Corps, calling it a flagrant
Thank
violation
you.
of the country's sovereignty and
Yeah.
airspace. We do know
Yeah.
that there was
Xiang.
a shelter-in-place
Thank you.
order before the
Xiang
attacks,
you,
and also
xie.
all
Ni-
U.S. bases in
ni-
the region were
xie.
placed on higher alert.
Xie.
Now, Iran claims it
Xie.
also fired a missile or
Xie.
missiles at a base in Iraq, but the Pentagon had no reports of that. Iraq's as close its
Thank you.
airspace, it also had no reports there missiles
so-
fired.
Yeah, Petrawi on the ground first in the region. Just situate us, this attack on Qatar, how significant is that?
Bin-
That is a Gulf Arab state that is
Kom
friendly
den
with the US. Trump just visited last month.
Yeah, we've never seen an attack targeting U.S. troops in Qatar before. You know, Qatar
That
walks a really fine line in the middle. It does share the world's biggest underwater
randomly, how many
gas
is
field
that?
with Iran. And a few years ago, if you recall, when Arab neighbors that cut ties with Qatar
How
closed
many
their ports,
minutes?
and
Yeah.
Qatar's only border to it. Iran was one of the
How many
first
minutes?
countries that rushed to send over food and other vitals to Qatar. And so, yeah, Qatar was given an advance notice. It did that highly unusual step of closing its airspace for 2 hours before the attack, and then was
Teheran.
able to shoot down those missiles. But you know, also Qatar's leadership does have those close
Red
ties with Trump and his
pie,
Middle East envoy Steve
taxi,
Witkoff. You know, Trump was just in the Gulf, as you
driver,
mentioned, only last month, meeting with
deputy,
Gulf
deputy,
rulers. You know,
deputy,
he was also
deputy.
offered a Boeing aircraft
Yes,
to replace one of his older Air Force Ones by Qatar. But what this attack does is it really just draws in more countries to this conflict as a result of what began as Israel's attack on Iran 10 days ago. Countries across the region rushed to condemn and very strongly were against
what?
Iran's attack tonight.
Over
And warned
the
of this
sky.
spiraling out
We just don't want to get
Spiraling off cold.
alienation, contamination, no, bicycle, cycle,
How significant is that? That is a Gulf Arab state. It is friendly with the US.
Luftballons,
Just
boom.
visited last month.
Yeah, we've never seen
He doesn't
an
have
attack
it all.
targeting US troops in
Der hat
Qatar
nicht
before.
alle
You know, Qatar walks a really fine line in the
Tassen im
It does share the world's
Schrank,
biggest
im
underwater
Kühlschrank.
gas field with Iran. Iran.
Eierkopf.
And a few years ago,
Köpfchen.
the Arab neighbors
Ja.
that cut ties with
Köpfchen.
Qatar closed reports
Ja.
and there's a
Schwänzchen.
border to it. Iran was one of the first countries
Schwänzchen.
that rushed to send over
Kuss,
food and
kuss,
other
kuss,
vitals
kuss,
to
kuss,
Qatar.
kuss, kuss,
And
kuss.
so yeah, Qatar
Choo.
was given an advance notice. It did that highly unusual step of closing its airspace for 2 hours before the attack, and
Du
then was
hast die
able to shoot down those
Geige
missiles.
gestohlen
But you know,
und
also Qatar's leadership
in
does have
das
those close
Meer
ties with Trump and his
gesetzt.
Middle East envoy Steve
Ja,
Witkoff. You know,
Grönland
Trump was just in the Gulf,
hat
as you mentioned,
viel
only
Eis
last month, meeting with
schmilzt
Gulf rulers. You know, he was
bergab
also offered a
in
Boeing aircraft to
den
replace one of his older Air Force Ones by
Ozean
Qatar.
und kommt
But what this attack
wieder
does is it really just draws in more countries to this conflict as a result of what began as
Ungeheuer.
Israel's attack
Loch
on Iran
Ness,
10 days ago.
Island,
Countries across the region
Turkey,
rushed to condemn and very strongly worded statements Iran's attack tonight.
Spiraling out of control.
Sorry.
Spiraling out of control.
Fairly unexpected. It was just precisely this kind of retaliatory attack from Iran. The U.S. officials were worried about it whenever they joined the fighting with the weekend.
Absolutely, this is a main concern. There were some 40,000 U.S. personnel spread.
Xiang Qinglu.